1988, you go into the Daytona 500 and you finish third.
Mm-hmm.
And if it hadn't been for those pesky Allisons up front,
Yeah.
what were your expectations going into Talladega? Because of how well you had run at Daytona in particular, what were your expectations going into Talladega that spring?
Well, they were really high, but we even before we always were competitive at Daytona, Talladega. I mean, those were the races that I would circle at the beginning of the year because I knew we could be competitive there. I was a pretty good drafter. I was able to do a pretty competent job there. So I knew that our stuff was fast, and I knew we would have a great chance. And in the practice leading up to the race at Talladega, I mean, everybody in the garage knew that our car was really good. We ended up qualifying third, but I remember one of our guys, I don't remember who it was, he drove at that time you would drive the car to the gas pumps from the garage area, drive it back if you weren't going to go out to practice. One of our guys drove the car to the gas pumps, and 2 or 3 people lined up behind him because they wanted to draft with us in practice. But it was just going to the gas pumps. But we knew it was really good. I remember Kyle Petty and I in practice on Saturday got together and were really, really good. Passed some really good cars and were able to drive away from some cars. So we knew I knew that we would have a great chance. But who knows how things will play out?
Race day. What do you remember about the race?
Well, we obviously the car was really fast. We got the lead. Caution came out. We'd probably run about, I don't know, 15 or 20 laps. I'm guessing, maybe not halfway to a fuel stop. We were leading. We ended up staying out and to retain the lead, and the thing goes green, and I'm gonna have to make a green flag pit stop. So I make a green flag pit stop, and I didn't know this at the time, and I think it was a long time before I realized this as well, is Leo gambled. Leo was the crew chief. Leo gambled and said, let's just put 1 can of gas in so we minimize the time on pit road. Because, that was the first year of restrictor plates in '88, but we're still probably racing at 200 miles an hour or thereabouts. Let's just put 1 can of gas in so we don't spend as much time on pit road and see if we can get back out in front of the leader to try to, at least stay there. Again, then we can run 20 more laps, and they're going to have to pit in 20 laps anyway. So we did that, and we're out, and we came out in front of the leaders, but the draft caught me, and I'm racing. Kenny Schrader was leading the race at the time, and Kenny was trying to lap me. Well, he got loose and spun out, trying to lap me, and that number one, that got me my lap back because I was able to. You didn't have any free pass back then. You had to be in front of the leader when the caution came out and beat him back to the line in order to get your lap back. So I was able to do that. Kenny spun out, and I was able to get back to the start-finish line to get back on the lead lap. So.
All right. We talked to Andy Petrie for the show a year or so ago, and let's just say that he said that car was very, very special. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't confirm anything in particular that was special. He just kind of basically grinned and winked about it. Mm-hmm. Once and for all, what was going on with the car that day?
Just fast.
Ah.
It was just fast.
It was worth a shot.
You'll have to go back. You'll have to go back and talk to Andy then, I guess.
All right. When you won at Bristol in what's now the Xfinity Series, you said it was the biggest win of your career. Then you go to Talladega, and you're standing in Victory Lane, and that's a place where your brother had stood, where Richard Petty had stood.
Well, Benny actually never won Talladega.
Did he not?
Mm-mm. That was one of the few racetracks
right.
that he wasn't able to win at.
Okay.
Rockingham, which was his home track because he lived in Ellerby, 10 miles away. He never won at Rockingham. He never won at Martinsville, and he never won at Talladega. About most of the rest of the places he did.
With that being said, what did it mean to you to be on the mountaintop?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I can't even describe it today. Over 30 years later, I mean, just the euphoric. I mean, it was something I'd worked. I mean, I'm 30 years old at that time, and it's something I'd literally worked my entire life for. And I was at the time. I said, "Well, this is just the start. This is just the start." And there's going to be so many more of these, but this one feels so good. It's the first one.